With that down, let's move on to main topic number 3. And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Geeky Gator, who writes, "Hey, John and gang. Screen Rant just released a quote from Josh Boone during a set visit all the way back in 2017, and he said New Mutants was pitched as a horror trilogy and that the movie will have connections and implications on the Fox X-Men universe. Do you think these connections and implications will still be in the movie?" All right, thanks a lot for sharing that. And for those of you who are wondering what he's talking about, so Josh Boone, the director of New Mutants, which is allegedly finally coming out 17 years after they originally announced it would. It's finally coming out. And apparently, so back in the day when they did a set visit with him, he made these comments. Now, here's the comments specifically that they're talking about. "When we went to go tell Fox we wanted to do this movie, we made them a comic book," which is a great idea. "We made them a comic book. It was like a PDF that pitched them a kind of a trilogy of films, each one's in its own unique kind of horror movie. The first one's a supernatural horror movie. I won't say what the other two are, but they're horror movies, but different horror movies each time. Oh yes, we're in the same universe, and there will be things that fans will really be excited about that will have repercussions in other movies and other parts of the X-Men world and all of that. So it should be really cool. I'm excited." And of course, that comes from the director, Josh Boone. Here's the thing about that, though. This has brought up a question with a lot of people, which is simply twofold. One question I've seen a lot of people talking about is, could these other two movies still happen? I mean, like, look, they're doing New Mutants. Apparently, they've got these things planned. They have ideas for these other films. They've already put them in comic book form, so they've basically already got an outline for it. Could it be possible that they still move forward and do these other horror movies that they've been talking about? The other implication that somebody brought up, and we've seen some discussion on this online, is, could Disney even further than that? We've seen lots of people asking, could they bring X-Men New Mutants into the MCU? A lot of people have been asking, hey, if New Mutants is big and successful, could we possibly see them bring New Mutants into the MCU? And if so, the extension of that on this story is, could we see New Mutants? They were saying that this New Mutants movie was going to have an impact on the X-Men films in the Fox universe. Could they say and change things up so this has an impact on the MCU and possibly the forthcoming X-Men films? Dennis, to me, the simplest answer seems to be the most clear. No. I mean, it feels to me like, I think Disney, and I don't know this, but I think Disney's going to take the same approach with this movie that they did with Dark Phoenix. That we've got it, the money was spent, it was made, it's one of our assets, we're going to put it out in theaters and get as much box office money out of it as we can. But I really don't think they're going to adapt it, change it to suddenly force it into the MCU when this was a movie that Kevin Feige never had any influence on whatsoever. So I kind of feel like this is going to be a one and done, and they're not going to do the other horror movies, and they're not going to tie it into the MCU as it is. I mean, it's possible they could. I just don't think they will. Do you think they will?
No, I don't think so. The only way that would happen is if for some, and it would be a very long shot, that this movie makes a ton of money, it's a huge success, and people are clamoring for more. Because that's the only reason why they're, all the talk about Deadpool 3 under Disney is actually, going to happen, because it was a big success. Right. People loved it. People want more. But if it hadn't been, I think Disney would just toss it aside and said, we don't need this. And the same thing with New Mutants. This is something that, like you said, doesn't factor into the MCU at all. And I think they will pull any type of things that are talking about, the X-Men or whatnot, because they don't want to cloud people's minds once the MCU X-Men comes out. Right. I'm quite surprised they didn't drop this on the Disney Plus service, because as people rumored, they were saying, well, this isn't going to fit in anywhere. They've been delaying this thing for a long time. Why not use it as an asset to get people to subscribe to Disney Plus? Because, right now, there isn't much, now that The Mandalorian's over, Disney Plus doesn't have much going for it until one of the MCU shows debuts. And they need more stuff. Yeah, they need more original stuff. I mean, it's funny because that's a secondary topic, but it didn't strike me before Mandalorian came out that,
they really don't have anything else significant, big marquee stuff. I mean, they've got their High School Musical, the reboot, whatever it's called, and Jeff Goldblum or The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I really like that show. And now they're launching like The Diary of a Future President or something like more kid-related stuff. You're right, though. Like once Mandalorian was done, that's when you really became aware of there's really nothing else keeping me on Disney Plus right now. I don't know if I'm going to stick around. And I think that, speaking to your point, I think that was one of the reasons why a lot of people thought maybe they will just release this thing on there. But I guess they figured they could make more money on it, putting it in theaters. Because whatever it makes, even if it only makes $100 million worldwide, it's $100 million more than it would have made otherwise. So question is, guys, what do you think about this? Do you think there's a possibility that Disney could take this New Mutants film and actually stretch it into the MCU and do more horror films? Do you think, like Dennis says, like, hey, listen, if this thing makes $900 million worldwide, you have to? Do you think maybe if it does that they're still not going to do anything with it? How do you feel about it? What would you do? Jump into the comments section below and leave us your thoughts. All right.